sound. Hey, this is here. Where we are. Interesting. It's awesome. Oh, okay, this is
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
okay.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
So we're breaking and entering. Interesting start. Can I sprint? Oops. Sorry, it hasn't told me anything to do, so I'm just kind of mashing buttons.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
So it looks like that R2 triggers.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Okay. Fucking bills. Okay.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Okay, so trespassing didn't. She said how this really does remind me of lots of places I've been in Washington State.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know.
It's the anywhere key.
She thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
What's down here? I know we're not meant to be going down there at the moment, so. Are we just like super unathletic or like just fat or something? Why can't we
I
run?
wouldn't have driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Hoof prints? Where? From a deer or something? But I've seen a paw prints from a fucking bear. Oh yeah, it's a deer. Okay. Climb over things now. If I can fall to my death. That wouldn't kill me anyways.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Oh, hell no. Nope. No way. That's the house? That's the house? Alright.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
It's like something out of a spooky version of a Dr. Seuss book or something. Also, it looks like this has been built upon and built upon over the years. And there's no, like, true color scheme. It's like 17 different colors. Frogs. There are many frogs. Frog pond? Missing? Who the hell is missing?
I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband.
Oh shit, there's a dragon.
I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Okay. So there's a dragon in the pond. Got it. Who's missing? Is that our brother that died? Yeah, it's a wooden dragon. Huh.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Well, if anything, it's fucking ugly. I don't know if you should be scared of it, but you should definitely be ashamed of it. So wait, so I think she said she lived here until she was 12 and she's 17 now, so no one's been here for 5 years. Some potting soil. Okay. Alright, well. What are we waiting for? Let's do it.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go around, I guess. Right here. Maybe through the garage. There was a sprint feature. I was trying to open the door.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Okay. Well, we're in. Okay. Empty freezer. Pretty nice little workbench. Very organized. Little kiddie pool, some bikes. Garage. The car. Why is everything just abandoned? What happened here?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Oh, great.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Oh,
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
God, it was a fucking cat. Hopefully it's long gone.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house. So we had Chinese a lot.
Could be worse.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
That's crazy. Oh, what's behind here? Is that the front door?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Okay. So there's dead Alright. Freaking books everywhere, man.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Okay. He's the one that they had the funeral for, so I'm assuming.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
So our great-grandparents, Barbara and Sven, the ones that built it. So it's very old. Okay. Alright. What else have we got in here?
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Okay.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Why did we leave in a huff?
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
This is...
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
It's not... I wouldn't say it's creepy, it's just kind of, it's just kind of a little unsettling. That we're in this house that's been abandoned for 5 years, and we left as if something major happened. Either like a tragedy or something scared us out. I'm not sure. Beautiful view though. Alright, well let's go upstairs. It's gotta be what the key is to. Yeah. Ooh, can we take the ride up there? Come on, let me ride it. More fucking books.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
That's some kick-ass wallpaper, dude. That's really cool.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh shit. What do we got here?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Okay. Not right here.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Orcas Island? Oh, we're on Orcas Island. Man, killer views everywhere in this house. It's a crazy house. Scorpions. Alright. Anything else to interact with here? I don't think so. Is that a jellyfish pillow? We can't get through this door. That's not creepy. Okay, we can't go in there. Let's go back out here. Can we not get through that way? No. How do I get out of here? Is there anything else to interact with here? What am I missing?
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here, before my mom sealed the doors.
Oh, wait, 1937 to 1947. Oh, wow.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I...
Oh, wow. Okay, so we are now... Molly.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
That's disgusting, but okay.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Okay, before I got in the hole, is there anything else here?
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Yeah, no thanks. You just stay put, Christopher. So foggy. Alright, let's go out.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
You fucking locked me in my room? Can we go back in this part? Oh wait, no, there's a door right here. Be right back, Mummy. I got to take a dump.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Where the hell you... Are we sure those aren't poisonous? Maybe that's why we died at 10 years old, is because we eat shit like that.
I kept eating and eating.
Why am I eating and eating? wrong with me?
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Fucking eat that too?
And suddenly, I was a cat.
What the hell? How? What? Why am I a fucking cat?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Am I gonna eat the fucking cat? It's fucking weird, man. Where'd he go? Where'd the little tweet tweet go? Hey, little fucker.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired.
Where'd it actually go? Hey, little
Now
bastard.
I was up in the big tree.
Yeah?
I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
She's a mama bird? I don't want to fucking eat a mama bird.
I gobbled her up,
What the?
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
What, would you eat the fucking cat? Girl, you're a psychopath. What the hell is happening here?
A mama rabbit.
Where?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What in the fuck is going on?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Juicy shit.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Yeah, what is wrong with me? jeez.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
You might want to get out of here. Okay.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Okay, I have no idea what's going on. And we just came through a toilet.
I got closer and closer.
Oh shit, this is the house.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
What in the what?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Okay. That's a lot to take in. Okay. Is there a fucking monster under there now or something?
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Still can't fucking leave this room, huh?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
The fuck? Hey, there was some birds and a snake. But they're dead. And these are their memorials. Okay. Alright. Can you keep a snake in a cage? Oh, I guess it's got extra wires on it so it can't get through the holes. Okay. Well, I did not know that. Mole man.
Edie gave a big interview
Sick
about
man.
a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Oh, 1937, Sven Finch.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Okay.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Oh shit. What the fuck? So he was building a dragon-shaped slide. That's that dragon we saw in the pond. And it collapsed on him. Okay.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Goddamn.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay, so the family is beset by tragedy.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Ingeborg. Can't get in this one yet. Okay. Alright.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
So, that's a lot of pink.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look, It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Fuck, there's secret rooms everywhere. Oh, there's like developing photos.
What are you playing?
It's called What Is Left of Edith Finch.
Are you streaming it?
Yeah.
Are you moving forward?
Yeah.
What is left of Edie Finch?
Yeah. Or What Remains of Edith Finch. Who's Calvin? That's weird. Stairs to nowhere. 2 command center. 4 Calvin. Calvin and Sam must be brothers. How do I get past this rope?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore he'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, coming. Dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Oh, it's just a all the way around.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Okay. That happened.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Wow. So far, this is kind of depressing. A little bit. Calvin. So everybody
After the
dies.
funeral,
His family.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
She did. Well, that's sad.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
What does that other one say? Couple turns land into a native haven. And murder probe. Clues exhausted. Okay. Okay, alright. Okay. Now what am I meant to be doing? Is there something else in that room that I missed?
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Alright. Gloves. Great. Got it. That's gonna really help. It's a big family. Anything over here we need to do? Can we get in there? No. I don't know what the fuck I missed. Can't interact with anything here. Okay, well. Nothing else here. Oh shit, what's that over there? Fuck is that?
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Wait, hold on, what's down here? What the fuck is it?
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Oh wow. My friend Bigfoot said she was a movie star, like Shirley Temple or something. Wait, no. I don't want to go back in. I thought I was going to pick up the bra.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
What in the fuck?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh, the Halloween music. Awesome.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
That's copyright infringement. I wonder how they cleared this music. We shoot some pool with the crutch. Free ball, corner pocket. I don't like the way those bottles are looking at me. Hey, what are you looking at? Eh? Stupid hamper. Box. A box? Stupid box. No shit, it's bloody. And a bloody hamper. Okay. Bash our way. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that thing?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh, fucking awesome. Great. That's just, this is great.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out. But she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Is that a trick? Why is there just a fucking skeleton there? It's Halloween. Where are you, little shit?
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh, shit!
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and... was speechless. He was quite smashing.
Fuck you, buddy.
And he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Where's that little, I can see the frame underneath where I'm going through a little thing. It wasn't up here. Too low.
She played her part beautifully.
Oh, we're in Molly's room.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Wait, where the fuck is Walter?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Ding dong.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
What the fuck?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, is right.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
It's very Tales from the Crypt.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Okay, well. Happy birthday, Barbara. Jesus Christ, how fucking old is that cake? When did she fucking die? 1960? Motherfucker, I don't know what year this game was made, but that's... I think it was like 2015, so that's like 55 years at least. Seattle Starlets. There's nothing else here. There's another thing down back this way.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
There's Barbara's door. Okay. There's an extension cord going to.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never
As a
found
kid,
the
I just
decent
assumed
key.
every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside.
Damn, he was only a year old. What the fuck?
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Fucking creepy ass noises, man. Alright, well.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
I think I was meant to see all this stuff first before I went to that one room first. So now we have to go in the basement, right? We have to get the key from the music box and we have to go in the basement.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Oh boy. I need to take a bathroom break, and this seems like a pretty good time. So I'm gonna throw this on pause for a second, and I'll be right back, hubby. Yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back with a special guest. Pause 1 second for technical difficulties. And we're back! Alright, so in that comic book, when Barbara got eaten by the monsters, we discovered that a music box that I had played earlier actually had a key hidden in it. And her ear. But we don't care about the ear, we just want the key. So it was a key to the basement, and now we're gonna go down into the basement. Huh?
Oh, because my headphones aren't even plugged in.
Okay, now you guys can hear me. That's not creepy at all.
Okay, nothing to be
I don't like this.
scared of. Just in a creepy old abandoned oh yeah, this is the basement where I was carrying around a crutch, and then I tried to play pool with it, and it didn't work.
Huh?
And then I whacked some soap bottles.
You whacked some soap bottles?
Yeah, with a crutch. It was fun.
Okay, what is
Mom
all
said the
this-
basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the guy that built this house, Sven, when we approached the house, there was like this big giant wooden dragon statue thing in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out when we were in the house that it was actually a big giant like water slide, and it had collapsed on Sven and killed him.
What?
So that's, and then his wife Edie
I
would
saw
tell
Edie
people.
sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
And then Edie would tell people that her husband was killed by a dragon.
I don't like this. Why did... Ah,
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
stupid weird light scared the hell out of me.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
What the hell? This is not creepy at all.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Oh god. Oh, what the hell? Is this like a safe room?
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Bunker. Ooh, pickles.
It's
Wait,
peanut butter.
I swear I saw pickles.
It's just seared. Is that pickles?
Pea soup.
Ew.
Tasty beans. Cereal.
Tasty beans, baby.
What? I want pickles now.
Oh my god, just continue. Continue, child, continue.
Beans.
That's a cereal.
Sweetie Crisps. Tasty beans. Jiggly Farms jelly.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Water.
Oh, we about to find out about Walter.
Goodbye, everyone.
Weird. What the hell?
I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Oh, we now Walter?
Yeah.
Well, something bad is gonna happen.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
Peaches?
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
No, I can eat
Even a
peaches.
monster on the other side
it's
of the
been a
door
year.
starts to feel normal.
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, it's been
Almost friendly.
10 years. Or 8 years. I think it said 1968 on the calendar. Tasty canned peaches.
And then one day, everything just
Oh, Jesus Christ.
stopped.
2005.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting.
I don't like
I
this.
have to leave.
One bit.
Well, I still can.
I can't get past this fucking thing. How do I move it?
Kick it. Nice effort.
It's a bunker inside of a bunker.
That makes no sense, but I'll take it.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
What's it?
Whatever
I don't
killed
know.
Barbara.
Oh, yeah, he was hiding under the bed. He was a kid when Barbara got killed by the monsters when she was 16. And he was hiding under the bed, and now he's been hiding down here ever since because he's scared of a monster.
And Calvin.
Let me guess, a monster's gonna come and kill him. How was that?
But even if it kills me,
Is he mining? Okay.
I just busted through there, and now I'm in like a railroad tunnel.
whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going
Watch
to
him die
appreciate all
immediately.
of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my
Well, now we know what happened to him. He got ran over by a train.
Okay.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Walter, you were fucking crazy, dude.
Wait,
I'm
he
sure
just
my mom
let
was
himself
trying to
die?
protect me.
He's saying he's sick of being afraid of living down here.
So he just ended it?
Well, no, he didn't end it. He just didn't care how much longer he lived. He just didn't want to live in fear. And then
Maybe she was afraid I didn't look like Walter.
Murdered him.
But if she
That
never
train
told
just
me
came
about an
around
uncle
and
under the
murdered his
house,
face hole.
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Probably a lot of freaky
I
crap.
don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Well, you probably are. You're in a horror game.
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
What the hell? Wait. What is that in the distance?
I don't know, but I want to go to it.
I think that concludes the mistakes that she does not want to do. A good idea. Go adventure out in the woods. In a place you barely know.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Yeah.
Why is there a chair in the tree?
That is a good... Why is there two chairs?
Oh, hell yeah, we going to the beach. Ooh, I got to get my swimsuit ready. We going to the beach.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
What the fuck is that?
Looks like an Indian, like, pole thing.
Totem pole?
Yeah.
I can't go out here.
And they...
What do you do? Do we swim? I don't know what that fucking light is. Oh, what's that? What is you? Oh yeah, there's the house. Oh, that's the backside of it.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
She like fourth wall breaking right now.
People in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Nothing over here. What's a campfire? Yeah, they're like totem poles. Okay.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
Ah, my foot is falling asleep and it's going up to my leg and it's not.
Any of it seems possible.
Mr. Stark.
I don't feel so good because my foot is...
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
That's a good question.
Maybe they love... Don't fall. Maybe they love death. Who knows?
No, they don't love death. They're just used to it because everyone dies.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
Oh, it's a
the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and
That
2
statue
had been my
scared
fault.
the hell out of me. I thought that was a guy just staring at you.
Oh, this is a pet cemetery. Chirpy, Burpy, Furby, and Lurpy. Derpy and Derpy Jr.
It was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what if...
Oh, he was the kid that flew off the swing.
What if these statue elements things are like supposed to be like clues to how they died?
Yeah, that might be.
Because that rocket, maybe he like flew like a rocket off and then died. Barbara. She was the one that died to the monster, right?
Monsters.
So why would that start there?
Because she was a movie star.
Oh. Or, oh, it may be part of their personality.
Well, no, and yeah, and this kid was into rockets and astronaut stuff in his room. She was into her cat. She thought she was a cat at one point, I think. Or maybe she was a cat, I don't know. We don't know anything about Edith yet.
Well, she likes
Walter
rocks.
was the one that lived down in the...
She likes rocks, I guess.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh shit, that's the house? Our like great ancestors tried to move a house to the island. This was before this one was even built, and they got caught in like a storm or something, and they died, and the house sank. Or some of them died, I think, and the house sank. I guess that's the house poking out.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Oh,
crazy.
It's a buoy. That's what the light is.
Yeah, to keep ships away from it so they don't raise
This is
it.
my buoy. That's my buoy.
Okay, but how do we get out there? I want to go visit it.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, this is Orcas Island.
What is Orcas Island?
Right there. Wait, where are we?
Oh, this is in like Washington? Oh.
Across the water.
Oh, mama. Freak you, statue. Whoa. Wait.
Yeah, he like died, I think, with the house. And that's his peoples, his family saying, no, save yourself.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Save yourself, Mom.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we are. Let me check.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Yeah, we're still streaming. We Gucci, man. We Gucci. We Gucci.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks
Wait,
this is what she
our
wanted
mom
all along.
dead?
For me to come back someday.
I think that's
and find everything out for myself.
So are we just like on our own and we just are here?
Yeah, I guess. That was the start of the game, is like just going into the house.
Did we like...
For the first time in 5 years.
Huh.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Okay, so we're pregnant. Maybe we shouldn't be climbing around like this.
Wait, we're pregnant? That's great.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Okay, hold on. No, wait. I don't want to go in there yet. Hold on, there's one more. I want to see Sam's story first before I go in there.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Alright, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Sam's story first really quick, and then I'm gonna stop streaming.
Alright, well, see y'all later, guys. I'm gonna head out, and he's gonna stop here really soon. See ya. See ya.
Say goodbye to him, chat.
Goodbye.
Beep, 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 beep. Night, love you. See you in the morning. Okay, let's check out this. Wait, pick it up.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dom. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
fucking shoot!
Great shot, Don.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
What the fuck?
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Holy shit. Okay. That was Calvin's brother, right? Yeah. Oh. Man, this family is unlucky.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh, crap. Is Gregor the one died? Yeah. I think at like a year old.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Why the fuck is that dog following us?
Hand over, Gregory. It's time to...
Oh, this is that ugly ass pink bathroom.
Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like.
And being a baby's awesome.
So much of Kevin.
Woo!
Lost in his imagination.
Oh shit, I'm stuck. Oh god, the whale! Whee! Oh! Whee!
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
he could have told us. About the world he saw.
And I'm gonna drown. Wait, it's fantastic parenting. Help!
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
Quick, pull that fucking
What
plug.
happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Okay. This is, this is something else, I'll tell you that much. Who do we still have left? We still have Gus. Not sure if I remember who Gus is. Dawn, that's the little girl that was hunting. Milton and Lewis. Oh, we're Edith. Duh. I was thinking Edith was Edie. Edie was a nickname for Edith, and that was the grandma. Did I see right on those tombstones that both Lewis and Edie died on the same night in November of 2010? I'm pretty sure I saw that. Lockers? Dawn and Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Dive bomb people.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Okay. Aloha.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
That's a weird
She
way
never
to
talked
die.
about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Yeah, this is like Final Destination, but like in a very eloquent fashion. It's just, how are these people dying? And it keeps getting like more and more elaborate. I still don't know how the fuck Molly died. Unless we're gonna believe in monsters now. Where's the evacuation? House rules. No playing outside. No answering door restraint. No messes after dark. All chores before dark. Respect others. Gus, Dawn, Gregory, they all... Why is my light turned on? Or Dawn's light? Oh shit, what's this? How do you... What's that up there? Yo, how do you get up there? Oh, these fucking stairs right in front of me?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh, Dawn is our mom. And Edie's our grandmother. Okay. Putting all the pieces together.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Oh boy.
She spent a summer building
Sanjay,
houses in
I saw his-
Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Okay. Can we get the Dawn story of her death? What does some of these things say? Thank you. To do. Spy. School books. Kids. Oh, I can't read that. Places to visit. Oh, I can't. Taj Mahal, I see that. Okay. That's fucking cool. I want a fireman pole in my room. So Dawn had sweep and trash as her chores. Gus had to mop and mow the yard. Greg, be a baby. Yep. Pretty much. Routine. Jump rope 100 times. Jumping jacks 150 times. Push-ups 100. Crunches 100. Run to mailbox and back. Huh, okay. Alright, is that how I was meant to do here? Wait, there's gotta be something up there I missed.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Who was the missing one? Was that Lewis or Milton? I want to say it was Milton.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Good job. Our family history, fact or fiction. Multiplication tables. Cool, it's like a little schoolhouse. Edith Lewis Milton.
But it didn't last.
No, of course not. Nothing does with this family. Laptop. Scientific method. Observation. Question. Research. Hypothesis. Experiment. Data. Conclusion. Finch. The Curse. Myth History. By Edith Finch. This is a fucking crazy house.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
See if there's a way in. Yep, bingo. That's really... So you just paint it up here all day. Okay. Okay, we're gonna see Milton's story now. That's cool. I'm definitely into this game the more and more it unfolds. Still don't know what the fuck is going on, really, but alright, man, I'm in. Invested.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Was it a flip book? That's fucking cool. Okay. Wait, what happened to him?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Oh, I guess we don't know. But that's right, he went missing, and they haven't said if they ever found him or not. I know there was a funeral, but they can have funerals for people even if they don't find their body. Well, it's 10:30, and I'm thinking that's probably a pretty good place to end the stream for the night. Oh yeah, we still got a ways to go up that way. Well, let's go check it out really quick. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room, except Louis.
He's into his reefer. Oh, this goes like a fucking boat. His room was a boat on the side of a house. That's pretty stony, man.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Digging the vibe here, man. Reminds me of my room when I was like 16. Let's look at his video games first. It's supposed to be like a Super NES.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Sounds familiar.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, this is really hard.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
It's 2020, I should have picked handsome prince.
The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. We began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yes, thank you for coming, everybody. So many people.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Molly. Coronation as king.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Is there some other way we can, do this? That doesn't involve me putting my head in that guillotine looking motherfucker. Alright, thank you anyways, but I'll see you later. I'm gonna go find a new kingdom where they don't chop my fucking head off. Thanks, it's been real though. I like what you've done with the place. I'm sure you'll find somebody. You can stop playing now. This is not happening. Nope. Enough with the music. I'm not putting my head in that fucking thing. Nope, I'm not king. I'm not your king. I'd like to keep this head of mine. Alright, fuck it. There's no other way.
I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Okay, this is a good time to stop. I wanted to stop 20 minutes ago. All we have now left is our mom, Dawn, and our grandmother, Edie. Man, this game's crazy. It's really good. Okay. Signing off. We will see you tomorrow. I don't have a job at the moment because of what's happening out in the world, so I got nothing but time on my hands. So, till tomorrow.